set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force a misinfo that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature, that mean extorted it. They forging it, if news ain't good informant to informing them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this, we courting ships important. Yes, of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informing this, informing this. It looked like we were storing tricks, pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically we in a field, that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers actors say they high, say they sip with pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? In a world where we're about to have zombies walking around, that's actually what I think. I don't even think it's like a conspiracy theory anymore. But I'll piece together what I'm thinking, you know. I think a lot of people have kind of already put it together. It's pretty wild. Okay, so we, of course, know that we have been hit with the biggest psychological operation, at least in modern times, over the course of the last year. And they are now rushing out genetic modification. They are bribing people to become modified. They are coercing people into getting modified via threat of losing their jobs, threat of not being able to go into stores. It's a crazy world. Clown world confirmed. So we're going to piece this together and hope you guys stick with me. So the unopened mind will consider me weird, but that's how the Matrix was engineered. Yep. So let those who have ears hear. One of the most popular themes of movies ever is zombies. And I did a stream a while back called Sympathy for the Devil, where I break down many of the major themes of movies and how they apply to what we're being predictively programmed to accept, in my opinion. And of course, we do know that the powers that shouldn't be, I guess I say that, but they're allowed to be for a reason. Basically, you know, they're going to be punished in an insane way, and so they kind of get their perks right now. Like even the psychopathic evil people get their perks, right? So you might get all kinds of stuff on this earth and in this physical vessel and in this life, but your punishment will be much greater than anything that you acquired on this earth. So
I think you should look at it that way. But anyway, we know that these powers that are, they love to communicate via symbols, and they lie in the news and tell truth in TV shows and movies. We've seen it over and over and over. Jules Verne in the late 1800s predicted the moon landing, basically perfect. Werner von Braun, SS officer of the Nazi regime, brought over here in Operation Paperclip, wrote a science fiction book in the 50s where the main character's name is Elon. It's a title. And this guy founds the first civilization on Mars. 2021, we got a guy named Elon Musk that's supposedly going to take us to Mars. So what they do is they write these novels and these scripts, and then they play them on the world stage. So they lie in TV or lie in news and tell the truth in TV shows and movies. Of course, Operation Mockingbird, declassified. The CIA has infiltrated the media. When asked about this in Congress, are you saying that some of these anchors are CIA agents? He said, we need to continue this conversation behind closed doors. And of course they are. If you have eyes to see, you see it's nothing but divisive propaganda so that they can coerce you into whatever it is the government wants you to do at the time. Of course, America, arguably the strongest country in the world militarily, and it's the beast system. Okay. So we see zombie movies all the time. Now, I do not think that some little Luciferian cult has gotten behind the scenes and written every single zombie script. I think it's a captivating idea and form of entertainment, and they've kind of pushed it out there with lots of funding, and then people have latched on to it because of the entertainment value and the audience that it draws in. So basically they do the same thing always. They lead the people in a certain direction. They do the work for them. All right, so we're going to get into it. We have been conditioned to numerous times over and over with the zombie thing. Some of the reoccurring themes in these zombie movies is you'll see someone that you once knew, one of your loved ones, and they will basically be unrecognizable. They will not be themselves anymore, and they, in fact, will be trying to attack you, and you will be forced with the decision to leave them be and allow them to attack you or kill them. We see that they attack everyone that isn't a zombie, and typically they're corroding and falling apart, and they typically try to like bite and eat the humans that aren't zombies. Okay, now we see this over and over and over. Oh, this is all just fiction. This could never happen, right? You have to understand the ramifications of psychological conditioning, right? Your subconscious has been bombarded with this. And so when it happens, you will react according to what these movies have told you to do and how it will be. And you will also be surprised at first. You will just kind of step right into place because you've just seen it a million times. Same thing with aliens. Okay. So let's get started. I know a lot of people that are in the truth community. I've looked into a lot of this over the course of this last year, but I'm having a lot of people kind of, swing by my channel now that I'm out in the world meeting people. And I think everyone really needs to take this in anyway. The potential severity of this becoming real. Honestly, of course, I could care less if someone thinks I'm crazy. So there is all of the preface and the foundation of what we're going to talk about. So here we go. The CDC has literally released an article this year, Zombie Preparedness. That's not weird. The CDC, the Centers for Disease Control Disease Control and Prevention. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has released an article about zombie preparedness. Now, of course, they say, as it turns out, what first began as a tongue-in-cheek campaign to engage new audiences with preparedness messages has proven to be a very effective platform. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. They have to put the truth out in plain sight. This is the natural law. And let's see here. So what do you need to do for zombies? Blah, 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 blah. I'll link this if you want to read it. But if zombies did start roaming the streets, the CDC would conduct an investigation. Much like any other disease outbreak, CDC would provide technical assistance to cities, states, or international partners dealing with a zombie infestation. This assistance might include consultation, lab testing and analysis, patient management and care tracking of contacts, and infection control, including isolation and quarantine. It's likely that an investigation of this scenario would seek to accomplish several goals: determine the cause of illness, the source of the infection, virus, or toxin, learn how it is transmitted and how readily it is spread, how to break the cycle of transmission and thus prevent further cases, and how patients can be treated. Not only would scientists be working to identify the cause of the cure of the zombie outbreak, but CDC and other federal agencies would send medical teams and first responders to help those in affected areas. Okay, cool story. Moving on. And if you think it's not weird that the CDC, when that organization has been thrust into the mainstream more than ever before, some people had vaguely heard of it. Now everyone knows who that is. And once everyone's paying attention and hanging on every word that they say, because apparently they give us orders on how we are allowed to live now, everyone is keeping up with what they say and listening to everything that they have to say. Certainly the normies are practically obeying them. And during this period of time where in which now everyone is watching them as they're thrust in front of them, they come out and talk about zombie preparedness when they knew that everyone was watching. There are no coincidences. But anyway. Okay, next. This is where it gets pretty insane, man. Isaiah 49:26, and I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh, and they shall be drunken with their own blood, as with sweet wine, and all flesh shall know that I, Yah, am the Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Zechariah 14:12, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Isaiah is a prophet. Zechariah is a prophet. Once again, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Does that sound familiar? And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Interesting. Revelations 16:5-6. Actually, what we'll do is we'll go right here. Revelation 16. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yah upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. So a grievous sore, right? Like a zombie. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and the fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the waters say, thou art righteous, O Yah, which art and wast and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. Interesting. Okay, so what we see is there is, in fact, a scriptural precedent literally describing what we would identify as a zombie phenomena. As they walk away, they rot on their feet. Their eyes rot out of the sockets. Their tongues rot out of their mouths. And they eat their own flesh. They drink blood. And when the people that have taken the mark, they break out in grievous sores, effectively deteriorating. If you apply the other verses, again, these are prophets that said this, and Revelation. These are two prophets and Revelation. Okay, so this is more serious than people actually think, in my opinion. So now what we're going to discuss is, and of course I'm going to do this the best that I can. We don't really live in that free of a country anymore, if you haven't realized. Of course, the use of the word lockdown should have probably given that away. That's a prison term. So you still think you live in a free country when you have lockdowns and curfews? Anyway, I'll do the best that I can. People are being genetically modified, of course, willfully, because none of this that comes in the future will be forced upon you. None of it. Now, you can try and twist it and say, oh, I had to go to work. I had to keep my Babylonian job. I had to get groceries. Whatever you want to say. If you actually have faith in the Creator and you're right with Him, you know that He will provide and protect. In fact, you will get a seal of Yah on your forehead in the end. They, in fact, can't touch you. You will be protected. And if they do touch you, it is part of His will. And if you are martyred for His sake and beheaded, you will actually receive a crown for this. I don't think many people have really let this sink in, but you need to get right, and you need to grow, and you need to learn the instructions, and you need to apply them to your life so that you can adequately maneuver what is coming. But anyway, people are getting genetically modified. I told you guys about the luciferase mRNA SM102 and the modified RNA genetic modification. And that, of course, tracks the light in your body. The scriptures tell you that those who take the mark, the light will no longer shine in them, and they will not hear the voice of the bridegroom. Of course, we also know the Department of Defense has discussed the idea of a VMAT2 gene, quote-unquote the God gene, and they've actually isolated a certain area of your genetic structure that is tied to your brain lighting up under CT scans when you have a spiritual experience. And they say that to combat radical religious terrorism in the Middle East in the early 2000s, they were working on some type of inoculation that would isolate this genetic structure and nullify this spiritual response and the light that is produced within it. And it says, of course, that the light will no longer shine within you. Moving on. Quantum dot tattoos hold genetic modification record. Okay, now as you see, this actually goes onto your skin. Actually, let me come back over here and just address this. I am not claiming that I have been given divine intervention or revelation to know exactly what's going to happen in any way. I do know that we're in the end. He told me that. I am simply trying to use wisdom and discernment and scriptures to get us mentally prepared for what could happen. Okay, so a lot of people are talking about, is this the mark? Well, in Revelation 18:23, it does say that the merchants were the great men on the earth, and for by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived. And that is, of course, from the word pharmakia. Many people run around acting as if they're going to just come around stamping 666 all over you, when the truth is, it very blatantly says they are deceived into taking the mark. Deceived. And with pharmakia. Okay? It checks a lot of the boxes. And of course, we also do know that the seal of Yah regarding your thoughts and your actions is on your wrist and your forehead. And in the end, you will actually have a seal on your forehead of Yah. So, if you're worshiping the beast system, you're playing a dangerous game in and of itself, right? Because there is an argument that it is spiritual. Of course, I look at the Hebrew, and it does appear to mean engraved, as in a physical marking. So I just wanted to cover that. I think that's what it is. I think there's a physical engraving identifier that penetrates you. And now they're about to get ready to rush out something that identifies if you're genetically modified or not. They think that they're slick with it. They're going to get the people to demand it themselves. That is the entire trick. I explained that last stream. It is, in fact, to get you to relinquish the spiritual power that you have via your free will and submission to the beast system. They are not going to force you to do anything. It's like the children that got kicked out of the house, and so now they're trying to get the other children to rebel and sneak out and then break all the rules. And they get kicked out too, so they can look back at the parent, at the father, and be like, ha ha, look, we got your other children. They need you to make the decision to relinquish the spiritual power that you have. It's all about your free will. Okay, so anyway, what they've done is they've said now you can freely breathe oxygen if you've been genetically modified. And now people that are rushing in to get it, as they begin to have the realization, maybe they messed up, maybe they shouldn't have done that, maybe they should have waited, maybe they should have seen if it's safe, they're starting to converge on those of us who are still organic. Because I'm organic, homie. And this will only get worse. my entire premise or point here is that they will get the people to demand some type of identifier to show who has been genetically modified. It will temporarily be like the Wild Wild West, where people will buck the system and they will actually forge these papers. Okay, they will forge their proof of genetic modification. This, of course, will quickly be combated, once again demanded by the people, because the people that have been genetically modified, they're like, this isn't fair, you know, like they should have to do it too. Bunch of gammas. And they'll be like, okay, we need to update to a digital system that's bulletproof and you can't fake it. And the people will demand for it. Now, I actually happen to think that is the mark. I think that this flirts with the territory of it, could be one of the initial stages of it, could be it. But I lean towards a physical engraving on the wrist and or the forehead. And I think that we can clearly see what that would be. It would be the identifier. I'm doing the best that I can to skirt around it. If they take it down, they can kick rocks. YouTube, you suck. Not medical advice. All right, so moving on. Quantum dot tattoos can hold the genetic modification record. Here we go. Invisible ink could reveal whether kids, which are baby goats, have been vaccinated. Invisible ink, invisible to the naked eye. I'll cite all this in the description after I post the video. Along with the genetic modification, keeping track of genetic modifications remains a major challenge in the developing world, and even in many developed countries, paperwork gets lost. Oh, yeah, you don't say. Yeah, just get rid of the paper. Let's just get a digital identifier. And parents forgot whether their child is up to date. Now, a group of Massachusetts Institute of Technology researchers have developed a novel way to address this problem, embedding the record directly into their skin. We live in a science fiction novel, bro. Okay, so and I will explain the quantum dot simply, and I'm gonna actually read a medical journal that explains it. Okay, but it utilizes a luciferase enzyme tracking the light in your body. It is invisible to the naked eye, hence it's saying that it's invisible. It's invisible to the naked eye. It exists on the spectrum of light that you cannot see. Of course, humans can't understand modern science, which is just pseudoscience nowadays, can't understand the eyes. They cannot explain the eyes. In fact, the eyes prove you were designed alone. Okay, they can't explain how the eyes work. And they can't explain light. And in simple layman terms, your eyes were designed to only perceive a certain spectrum of the light, which is just vibration. Your eyes actually perceive things optically via interpreting vibration. And so there's an entire spectrum of this vibration, and the eyes only see a part of it. There was a veil put over your eye to protect you, and its inherent and intrinsic design, right? That's why you should be very, very cautious of dabbling in psychedelics and astral projection, because what you're doing is you're looking beyond that natural design that has that veil where you don't see the entire spectrum of vibration. All that just to say, simply the way that the eyes work, they perceive vibration, and that is all light is, by the way. It is nothing more than a vibrational pattern, a transverse movement within the background medium, the metaphysical medium that's already there. People call it the speed of light. They're measuring the illumination rate of light, which is the excitation or vibration of the medium. Now, not to get too digressed off into that, but my point here is that your eyes can't see all the light. We know this, right? We have things like infrared. It's very simple. This exists in the spectrum of the light, the vibration that your eyes cannot see. You cannot see this with the naked eye. So it will be painless. It will be very quick and convenient. You'll be able to hold tons of information, and it will be invisible to the naked eye. Maybe it makes more sense to you now when all the mainstream movies and media tries to tell you about the mark of the beast, and they show you like a 666 tattoo. No, it doesn't say that, bro. Okay? It'll be invisible as I see it. This is all obviously Austin's opinion. It will be invisible. And maybe you can download an app that shows who has it. Now they're getting you used to being scanned on the wrist and the forehead, because this will actually scan what's invisible to the naked eye. And in fact, I believe that utilizing this, it's very, very easy to spot someone from very far away. And I'm not trying to scare anyone, fearmonger anyone. You need to grow up and get right with the Father while there is still time. Okay? If you think you're going to go out there like a vigilante and just fight the beast system by yourself, cool story, bro. You're going to need the seal of Yah, the protection of the Father, and he's what's going to protect you. And that is your only hope. And some of us are going to get captured anyway. And we are going to need to stand tall for our faith and even get beheaded. Okay? If you think you're going to fight the system because you know the earth's flat, they can't deceive you, and you're going to be a vigilante, terrible decision, bro. Terrible decision. You need to get right. And, of course, deception will be so great if it were possible the very elect would be deceived. It's going to get real crazy. But it's all going to be hyper-focused on this one intention, which is to get you to take this mark, and this mark will remove the light within you. Utilizing tracking the light after 9 months, they say they can properly predict the body activity with 100% accuracy. Same amount of time it takes to be born. They're going to rebirth you, and you'll be no longer genetically the same, no longer the way that you were made. Okay, so anyway, all that to say, this technology is very real. One of the major genetic modifications companies that are being propped up right now by Donald Trump, the potential Antichrist himself. And yeah, that's just what my take is. I think that Donald Trump is the forerunner for the Antichrist. He'll come back, take a different form, look younger and everything. That's what I think. Okay, take it or leave it. He fulfills so many prophecies, it's ridiculous. The company that he propped up the most, they've been working on quantum dot tattoo technology since 2010. I found this myself with just a little bit of research, but hidden off in their financial disclosures. Okay, so moving on. We're going to look at exactly what this says. Biocompatible near-infrared quantum dots delivered to the skin by microneedle patches record genetic modifications. I'm going to read some of the abstracts. Accurate medical record keeping is a major challenge in many low-resource settings where well-maintained centralized databases do not exist, contributing to 1.5 million genetic modification preventable deaths annually. Here we present an approach to encode medical history on a patient using the spatial distribution of biocompatible near-infrared quantum dots in the dermis. QDs are invisible to the naked eye, yet detectable when exposed to near-infrared light, and there will be an app on your phone that can see it. QDs with a copper indium selenide core and I say aluminum, but it's aluminium to my UK friends. Dope zinc sulfide shell were tuned to emit in the NIR spectrum by controlling some word I don't want to care to pronounce, and shelling time. The formulation showing the greatest resistance to photo bleaching after simulated sunlight exposure, 5-year equivalents, through pigmented human skin was encapsulated in microparticles for use in vivo. In parallel, microneedle geometry was optimized in silico and validated ex vivo using porcine and synthetic human skin. QD containing microparticles were then embedded in dissolvable microneedles and administered to rats with or without genetic modification, longitudinal in vivo imaging using a smartphone. Wow, I haven't even read all this. Using a smartphone, adapted to administer to rats with or without genetic modification. I just read that. Adapted to detect in the NIR demonstrated that microneedle delivered QD patterns remained bright and could be accurately identified using machine learning algorithm 9 months after application. Now, this is not the one that I read, but when I say this a lot, I literally just pulled this up and haven't even read this yet, okay? But I've read numerous ones back in the day. They all say the same thing. It takes 9 months, and you're a robot. They can predict your body activity with 100% accuracy. We all know about the Microsoft patent 2020-06-06-06 using a body device that it will actually track your body activity and reward you with cryptocurrency from the cloud if you have compliant body activity. Okay. So, I mean, this is, in my opinion, this is the mark. Okay. I'm not saying I know, but this is where I'm at right now. Okay. Accurately identified using machine learning algorithm 9 months after application. Additionally, co-delivery with inactivated polio virus inoculations produced neutralizing antibody titers above the threshold considered protective. These findings suggest that intradermal QDs can be used to reliably encode information that can be delivered with genetic modification, which may be particularly valuable in the developing world and opens up new avenues for decentralized data storage and biosensing. One sentence summary. Near-infrared fluorescent microparticles administered to the skin via dissolvable microneedle patches can record genetic modification delivery. All right, so I'll cite this for you. You can read all about it. All about it. Commercial dye and custom quantum dot characterization to create a micro needle platform that can be applied to the skin, rapidly dissolvable, and leave behind particles that can be later be imaged to determine inoculation status. Dude, this is obviously what's coming. They're obviously going to rush this out to be able to identify who is genetically modified. And the people will, in fact, demand for it. I explained to you how they have it all set up. First, it'll be papers. And that's kind of what's going to happen right now. It won't be very long at all, in my opinion. And people were like, this isn't working. People can fake this, right? And people are already faking it over in Europe, all over the place, because Europe's effectively like the United States. When you travel, it's like you go from country to country like you do in states here. So when they go to work, they have to go through countries all the time, and they're asking for these. And so they've begun faking them. And so they're going to let that kind of get out of hand so they can come in with the cure, with the problem to this, or with the solution to the problem, which will be a digital physical marker that cannot be faked. And it uses nanoparticles, and it dissolves into your skin and is invisible to the naked eye. And the way that I see it, this will in fact be the mark. So when people are running around saying that this genetic modification has nothing to do with the mark, and these people saying that are crazy and all this, you don't know what you're talking about. This is the foundation for it. And it's genetically modifying people. And it literally has SM102, luciferase mRNA, which tracks the light in your body. Luciferase, light-bearing, right? So it's going to track your light. And so people always look at the scriptures and they underestimate them, and they apply them metaphorically over and over and over, even to the extent of bending and twisting it, literally, bending it effectively, not literally, but bending it and saying, oh, well, it says the earth takes shape like clay or sill, but it really means it's a ball, right? They do it all the time. They impose this metaphorical meaning onto the scriptures when they prove to be literally true over and over and over. They are layered. The scriptures are so incredibly beautiful and majestic that they are layered with truths. They have spiritual, metaphysical truths layered within literal truths, right? When it says that the light will no longer shine within them, it's being literal. That's my opinion. Literally, the light that's in you will be put out. They have to track it to be able to do that. To know how to put out the light, they're going to have to track the light. They're telling you how they do it. They use a luciferase enzyme that tracks the light. And after 9 months, it can predict your body activity with 100% accuracy, effectively rebirthing you. So anyway, the way that I see it is that we're told that the people that take this, and it will be a lot of people, it will be some people that haven't even been genetically modified as of now. When the pressure really gets pushed on people, they're going to fold, because you need the spirit to have this type of strength. Most people, they see me go talk on a microphone in a big city, and they're like, oh man, that's crazy. Dude, you're going to have to look into the face of death and everyone converging on you, and the beast system trying to hunt you down, and you not being able to eat or buy, sell, or trade, or have a profession anymore, or go do anything, even travel very efficiently. And you're going to have to be willing to let all that go. People are going to fall without the spirit. And you top this off with the cherry of the deception of something in the sky, or some type of entities presenting themselves coming from the oceans, or wars and rumors of wars, and all kinds of crazy chaos going around. People are going to crumble. People are weak. We don't even have strong men anymore. What's like 1 out of every 1,000 men are strong and bold for the Father? That's honestly way too high of a number. It's not even that high. Okay, so it says that the people that take this mark, they will break out in grievous sores. And again, we're also told by other prophets. Now, I get that some people might want to apply this to other things or whatever. Take it or leave it. This is a prophet, okay? And I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh, and they shall be drunken with their own blood, as with sweet wine, and all flesh shall know that I, Yah, am the Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. I didn't even show you, sorry. Isaiah 49:26. And then another prophet, Zechariah. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yah will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And we're told right here that whoever's taken the mark will break out in grievous sores. Grievous sores upon the men which had the mark of the beast. Okay. So I think that the potential for a zombie apocalypse is literal. So I'm going to show you something else real fast. Share screen. I'm going to come chat with the chat here in a sec. All right. One of the most famous video games in modern times, Black Ops 3 Zombies, right? And I used to play Call of Duty Zombies like back in the day. Now, this is like 5 years. This is one of the newer ones. I wasn't really playing it here, but anyway. So what happens in this is there is a literal beast. It's called the Beast, and it's like this three-eyed monster that you have to kill, and it's all about zombies. You're constantly shooting zombies. Well, there is a mark of the beast in this zombie video game that was probably the most popular video game in the world. Now, this has been conditioning people for years. This is like 5 years ago. Now, this is the mark if you can see it. Now, is this what it's going to actually look like? Again, I think it's going to be invisible to the naked eye, but is it going to have some type of illuminated fluorescent pattern? Very possibly, and maybe this is it. You can actually see 6s in here. You can see 3 6s in here, okay? Many people have played this game. Now, this is a zombie video game, okay? And there is a mark of the beast. Now, let me show you what happens. All these characters here, they have it on their hands, on their hands, okay? All the characters in this game. Now, I get it. You got Don Open Mind's gonna think this is crazy, but what can I say? It is what it is, bro. Anyway, one of the most popular games in the world. It's about killing zombies, and there were numerous versions of it before this, and this was like the best version. And it's years old now, and it literally has a mark of the beast in it, and all the characters have it on there. And in the storyline, they are bad guys. They are evil people, right? And they're effectively being punished. And it says the name, like the main saying is, only the cursed will survive. Now, we also know that it says that they will long for death and it will flee from them, but they will hunt down the believers. Yeshua told us this in Matthew 24. They're going to converge on you in the end and turn you over to the beast system. It says that only the cursed will survive, and that they will, and we're told they will long for death and they will flee from them. Of course, I think that they genetically modify. You literally can't die. And I used to ask myself, and I was talking to Chris about this while we were eating dinner yesterday, well, couldn't you just jump off a building, though? I think that they get to where they control your thoughts. And if they don't control your thoughts all the way, they control your actions, right? And I think you have a fleeting ability to think while they're constantly, pumping you with literal impulses, like electromagnetic pulses. And then you're not able to fully think or act on your own volition. Okay, so only the cursed will survive because they want to hunt down the believers. And if you take the mark, you're cursed, and you won't even be able to survive. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one other thing. I think a lot of people have seen this. This is the last thing I have for you guys, and I'm just going to chat with you guys. But it's a little video. Surely some of you guys have seen this, but anyway, let's check it out.
Unlimited's most fantastic device ever. The Smart Mark. Throw your other devices away because the Smart Mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. Use it as cash. Book your travel. And even shoot video. Distribution points are all over the city. And don't let the lines discourage you. The Rook Unlimited Smart Mark is worth the wait. I never realized how wonderful technology could make me feel. The Smart Mark has brought order to my life. And the best part? It's absolutely free. A gift of thanks to our city from Rook Unlimited.
23 of the population has been given the smart mark, #1.
Time to test our system, number 6. The flex fighters are out there somewhere. Teaming up with Jonathan Rook. Let's put our new recruits to work. Subtly.
We should find the flex fighters.
Okay, I gotta say it. I gotta pause it. Apply everything I just now talked about. Apply Matthew 24. You know, they walked up to just the literal Messiah, and they asked him, how will we know that we're in the end? The sun will stop giving off its light. The moon will turn blood red. The day shall be shortened for the elect's sake, for no flesh would survive. Deception will be so great that if it were possible, the very elect would be deceived. And we are told that they will converge on us and try to turn us over. So whenever they say this superhero, you know, team or whatever, actually it's the believers. Okay, it's the believers. And you saw them send the impulse out. And if you watch my last stream, not my activism streams, my last stream, I talk about how you can literally send impulses into these nanoparticles and literally change the molecular structure of whatever it's inside. Okay. And so they're going to be able to send impulses of thoughts to guide your actions. They're going to be robots. They're going to be zombies, though, at the same time, because they're going to be physically corroding. Right? This is at least my working theory. All right, so we're gonna keep playing it. I shouldn't have. This is not even at normal speed. I shouldn't have to worry about copyright or anything. So.
Number 6. The flex fighters are out there somewhere. Teaming up with Jonathan Rook. Let's put our new recruits to work. Subtly.
We should find the flex fighters.
We should find the believers.
I ought to find the flex fighters.
We should find the flex fighters. We should find the flex fighters.
Growing up in this city, the streets of Old Town, I saw the worst mankind had to offer: chaos, disorder. I vowed to make it all change, to make it all better. All these years working in secret, rising up the ranks of the tech men. It was all leading to this day. Order has finally been established in Charter City. No child will have to fear for their safety again.
The people owe you the greatest of debts, #1, for liberating them from the chaos of their lives.
You guys love new tech. You didn't want to get smart marked? No way. That's clearly some shady biz. Who wants to be?
You call yourself a man of science. World order is our destiny. Submit to a smart mark and join the glorious victory of order over chaos, or you will be eliminated.
Grandpa, Mr. Savage.
World order is our destiny, and it said order over chaos. You ever heard these terms before? It's just on the back of your dollar bill. No big deal.
Who wants to be?
You call yourself a man of science. World order is our destiny. Submit to a smart mark and join the glorious victory of order over chaos, or you will be eliminated.
Grandpa, Mr. Savage, where is?
Don't let them get those foolish mule devices.
What? No, they can't. Grandpa, those things are dangerous. It's a conspiracy. Mind control.
I knew it.
3 hours is enough time for us to get to our families. Maybe we can stop them before they get marked.
They seem to be establishing checkpoints of some kind. This is how they keep order.
This is the nightmare I warned you about. People think smart marks are brand new root tech that will improve their lives. They don't know they're being tracked.
All smart marks so far. But your chip makes it possible to control everyone in Charter City, whether they're marked or not.
All right, so this part, I think we need some clarification. It'll be able to control everyone in the city, whether they're marked or not. Now, I do definitely think that believers are being called out of the cities. I'm in New York City right now. It sucks, bro. I mean, I haven't seen Times Square and stuff, and don't worry, they're going to get this work. I was just in Philly and Atlantic City and Washington, D.C., and these are not the places you want to be. I know that on a very deep spiritual resonance. I'm out here because I feel like I was called to go out here. I hate the cities. We are being called out of the cities. It will be very dangerous for you to be in very crowded, compacted, big metropolitan areas, okay? Now, when they say they can send this pulse out and control everyone's brain waves, even if they don't take the mark, I think that if you don't have the spirit of Yah protecting you, then you will be much more malleable, right? And so we do know that we operate off electrical impulses. We do know that this can control basically your thoughts, because your thoughts are that very thing. We can watch it happen under a CT scan. And of course, I think that there's an etheric realm that contains all of the energy that exists. And effectively, I think this is how you communicate with the creator as well. So any meetups while you're here in New York? Yeah, sure, man. Hit me up. I'm chilling with the Flat Earther tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Shabbat, so I'm just chilling all day. But after the sun goes down. Yeah, email me, witsit@protonmail.com. So I don't buy that. I do think that the truth in there is that you don't want to be in big cities. And if you don't have the Yah, like the spirit of Yah, yeah, you could be easily deceived with what they do. And of course, it straight up shows you the ones that took the mark, they can send out an order and then they just go converge. And of course, they're going to go converge on the believers. The believers. Now, they're not going to be able to get a lot of us, and they're going to be able to get some of us. And it's just because, you know, he knows who's strong, in my opinion. And some of us are going to have to go down swinging effectively. And it's all good. You get juice in the metaphysical realm. You know, you have a crown. It can be a lot worse than someone being like, dang, I wish I crushed as much as that guy. Look, he's got a crown. So don't be scared. But you need to get right with the Father. You really do. You've played games long enough. You've ignored it long enough. You've put it off long enough. I get it. I put it off for a long time in my life. Thought I knew everything. Thought I was too smart for religion. The truth is, religion does suck. But Yeshua hated religion. Get right with the Father. You're going to need him. You're not quite as tough as you think you are. Everyone's big and bad running their mouth on the earth. But when Yeshua comes back, every knee will bow. Everyone will instantly regret that decision. And they will say, surely we inherited lies from our father. Yeah, well, you live in the time of the Great Awakening. The book of Enoch did not just coincidentally resurface. It is for a remote generation, and people will come to and fro so that knowledge will increase. And it certainly has increased, hasn't it? Flat Earth has come out. We now know they deceived us about the very nature of where we live itself. And it is not in any way debatable. They lied about the earth. There's a great awakening of knowledge. And this is because we need to be prepped. We can no longer be running around, bumbling around ignorantly, for my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. So it's time you get right. It just stop putting it off. You're going to have to stop putting it off. I'm going to need you to man up and do what you know you need to do. Okay, he's given certain people eyes to see. And if you're one of these 250 people sitting here, you're not here by a coincidence. Okay, and there are some people here that need to get right. I know that. And I really encourage you to do that. If you need to reach out to me and you have any questions, please do so. Of course, the truth is, I'm in no way the arbiter of salvation, and I'm growing myself. You need to talk to the Father. So, anyway, in conclusion, this was a very popular Netflix cartoon show in 2018. Straight up tells you what's going to happen. We had something else from like 2007. Straight up tells you about genetic modification. That they rushed out knowing that it wasn't safe, and it's actually used to manipulate you. You have been conditioned for this in so many ways, it's insane. As well as aliens, which will be the cherry on top, in my opinion, metaphysical entities coming from the ocean. That's my current working theory. Coming from the ocean, not intergalactic civilizations from thousands of light years away, and I don't think they even try to claim that. But of course, they will be handed over to their delusion, and if you allow them to get up in your brain, maybe they can really convince you that they came from intergalactic civilizations. I don't know. To me, that seems a little risky. I know Flat Earth doesn't save you. And I know that that's just the gateway to realizing there is a creator. And so, in my opinion, they absorb that truth. And you guys have heard my take on that a lot. So I'm going to just talk to you guys in the chat. And then I'm going to recap the stream like I normally do, but really fast. And then I'll read the donations. So, cool stuff. It's pretty clear that the scriptures even tell you that zombies could be a very, very real thing. And it's time that we just wrap our mind around it. You know, I don't care what people think. You don't need to care what people think either. Okay? None of the prophets cared what the people thought when they went in there and warned them. You got to be bold and seek and speak the truth unequivocally. Okay, let's see what we got here. Please lift my husband up in prayer, family. Will do. Martha's husband. Me and my son's the only one saved in my house. Yeah, we will for sure. No doubt about that. I got you. Tell him to come on over to the channel and to bring his biscuits. If you guys have any comments here, hit me up. The true prepper is the one who gets right with the Father. Exactly. I don't care if you have 500 ARs, bro. No one cares. No one cares. Don't get it twisted, dude. I mob around with my 9 milli, but like, you know, the sword is, this is the real sword. This is the real sword right here. Okay. This is the sword. Of course, you know, if a man has no sword, let him sell his cloak and go and get one. You know, our modern sword is a strap. And I'm actually going to start to yield a sword eventually and even get to where I can make bows and stuff. I do think that as men, we are called to be strong and to protect and provide for women, certainly in these times, and that we are having, you need to wrap your mind around the fact that this is not just some game. This is a literal war that is starting to happen. They are waging war. Look at the little crazy psychopaths in the Middle East, the Zionists, and their little coins with the psychopath Donald Trump on it. Just a coincidence. There's no way he's the Antichrist. The Zionists are just printing his head on a freaking coin, using the word anointed, which in Hebrew is Moshiach. It means Messiah. And the next one they print him on, it says that they're waging war on the sons. I think they say the sons of darkness, and of course, you know, they got it twisted. They're waging war. This is why they constantly talk about Mars right now. Mars this, Mars that, Mars. And that's why everyone's like, oh, they're doubling down, the heliocentric lie. I don't think so. I just think that they are showing you they're waging war on you right now. Because Mars is the supposed god of war. Okay? And of course, this is why that month is called March, which is typically the beginning of the year, because that's whenever you would march on your enemies for war. So they're talking about Mars a lot right now because I think that they're telling you that they're waging a war on you with their own demigod deification status of what people call planets. And that's when you get into some real potential gravy. What are planets? They're wanderers. It does indeed appear that Enoch tells you that they're rebellious angels. And maybe they deify, maybe they come down. Who knows? Who knows? It could get really crazy. But yeah, all that's to say, the real preppers are when they get right with the Father. And if you do not do that, nothing will prepare you. Flat Earth will not prepare you for the Great Deception. 500 ARs will not prepare you. I don't think a zombie's going to go grab their AR out of the cabinet. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You're going to be a zombie, bro. So, and I'll never take it. Yeah, I think that this current genetic modification is like a light work, and they're probably even impressed how many people are really falling for it. And wait till they really, really press down. And these entities may come in effect, integrate quantum dot tattoo with some type of new medicine that keeps you from getting sick, right? Anyway, they may replace it. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. You should definitely be as far away from this pharmacy as you can get, and you should definitely be mentally prepared for what's going to happen. You should be mentally prepared to understand that some of your family's not going to make it. I've had to accept this. You need to accept this. The zombie movies told you, bro. You're going to see your mom, and she's not going to look like your mom anymore. And she's going to be converging on you. Okay? Father will turn on son, and mother-in-law will turn on daughter-in-law. If the Bible says to not kill, are we then okay to kill zombies to protect ourselves? The Bible does not say to not kill. It says to not murder. So, yeah, in self-defense, you're 100% permitted to kill someone. So whenever a zombie that no longer has a spirit starts coming up on me, they're going to get capped. There's no doubt about it. And actually, us as men are to provide protection for the females and the children. So, yeah. The Father is the only way. Chop off my head, I'm with the Father. Exactly. You got to really be willing to say that and mean it. Matched. Not sure what you're saying, but thank you for the super chat. Earth first, space never. Space later. Much love, bro. Anthony, you just keep up the awesome work, brother. I wonder how many folks will match my super chat. Much love and blessings to you all. Thank you very much for the super chat and the kind words, brother. My sword is my KJV Bible. Yeah, the word. Indeed. Indeed. I rock with the scriptures version. But, you know, KJV I say is a close second. But, you know, do you? The Father talked to me through an NIV Bible, so he's way bigger than semantics, than word games, and them changing his name. You know, like if I hear someone bashing Jesus, I don't let it slide because that wasn't his real name. I stand up for Jesus. It just wasn't his real name. right? So he supersedes semantics. I strongly disagree at this point that his name is Yahweh. It doesn't matter. I know many strong believers and brothers that say that, and it has a lot of power in it coming from them. It just looks like it tracks back to Jupiter, and it's either Yahuwah or Yehovah. But anyway, my point being that he's much stronger than their little grabbler games. But you do need to always go back to the Hebrew and try to figure it out. Always. Because this is the most grabbled, most attacked compilation of information that exists. That exists, bro. Hey, man, what's up, West Blaze Music? My boy be crushing. Shouts out to West Blaze Music. He's a legend. Go show him some love, man. Go sub to my boy. He be dropping them bars, too. Well put. Thanks. I'll match on Cash App. The Grabblers take 33.3% with Super Chats. Yeah, they do. But, hey, man, it's all good, man. To me, money's just like a cycle. Honestly, every single dollar is just like about just getting us through this Babylonian construct and getting the word out there. So I don't really be tripping. Support how you want to, and if you feel led to. And don't expect to have, like, don't do it if you don't feel led to. I've already prepared myself to get the axe, even if my children were threatened with death in front of me. That's pretty heavy, but that's definitely the type of thing you have to be able to wrap your mind around. Financial collapse comes first. Believe it or not, that's right around the corner. And that's why it trips me out. I talked about this in my last stream too. Everyone is like, look at Joe Biden's president now and all the prices are going up. The prices are going up because of what happened under Trump, though. They printed trillions of dollars. It's just basic economics. They signed the death warrant of the dollar, and it was already dead. They just expedited its death. So yeah, don't worry. That's coming very soon. Very soon. Yeah, there's my boy West Blaze Music's channel. Go sub to him for real. He's a legend. You have never looked healthier. Thank you. Maybe it's this beard finally growing a little bit. I'm looking to sell all my silver. So if anyone is looking. I do think that gold and silver is pretty valuable, but like, yeah, it's not going to save you either. I actually think mercury might be the most valuable thing that exists, but yeah, who cares? What I'm trying to do is just get a bunch of land and get a bunch of believers together. That's my plan. Land. The Father will, of course, provide that in time, and he will protect us as well. So the way that you're wealthy in these days is to have land and food and fellow believers around you, and to be rich in spirit. Which I am bringing it to the state of Florida, like they're definitely going down. If I was given $30 million, I would immediately spend all of it immediately on land and food. All of it. Hey, Austin, will you be in New York City tomorrow? Came hoping you were here today. Also, check email I sent as well. Much love, brother. I will check my email. I am in New York right now, but we're just chilling. We went and bought a bunch of stuff to prep for Shabbat, and then we're just chilling tomorrow in the day. I'll be out tomorrow night, but I'll check my email, and I'll email you back, bro. Thank you for the support, Pops the Legend. And yes, we will be here until Monday. Cameron Kamikaze Gilmore. Just cuz. Thank you, man. Thank you for the support, bro. Much love. Muscle is the currency of the future. I'm not sure what you mean by muscle, but I can see how that would be true. Where would you buy land? Probably East Tennessee, close to mountains. I really wanted to go to Florida, but like that's probably just my flesh wanting to go to Florida. I feel called to go to East Tennessee at the moment. I know the Father will show me where I need to go, but I would buy 300 acres and all the strong believers that are willing to drop where they're at and bring their family there. I'd say, come on over, bro. Come on over. And we're going to implement the Torah. Do you follow Rev Dow? I try not to really make a habit of following men. But no, I don't know. I've never heard of him. Hawaii, big island. I don't want to be on an island in the middle of the water. That's why I don't really want to be in Florida. Very low down, surrounded by water. I just don't feel called to do that. I love Florida. It's like paradise. I'll come with. Sweet. Obviously, they'll be vetted to be real believers, and it's not a flat earth community, it's a believer community. But yeah, like I don't know. I've told a lot of you this. I mean, I'll tell you, you know, whenever I was like locked up, I was shown the story of Joseph, and as I began to read it, like the Holy Spirit touched me so strongly, it was insane. I couldn't even move. So I don't know what his plan is for me. I'm just following where he leads me, taking it as it comes. But he did bless Joseph, and that came with a lot of responsibility. If I was given anything like that, I would just provide for as many people as humanly possible. Yah's on the move? Absolutely. Do you believe in the mud flood in Tartaria? I think there's definitely strong evidence for it, yeah. I don't believe in all the stories that people say. No, I think people go 0 to 100 with it. All right, so I'm going to recap the stream real fast and then read the donations, and I'll talk to the chat some more after that. So we're going to recap this. In a world where no one knows what the world is, who will prevail? All right, here we go. My only issue with the community is it's really easy to target if made before the event. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be able to track everything. Like, Yah's literally going to have spiritual intervention to protect you. That's my take. But yeah, it would have to be very tactically built. In a world where everyone started paying attention to what these psychopaths had to say, because apparently they're now our leaders, if you don't know. So there's a company called the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in strong air quotes. And coincidentally, once they got the entire world looking to them to now know what we are allowed to do, they come out with an article about zombie preparedness. And then this is, of course, the blog right here. And there's zombie preparedness for educators, zombie preparedness posters. So I'll link this and you can follow it. You can follow all these right here. Just a freaking clown world. But of course, they're putting this out in the public to really condition you. See, they've conditioned you with movies for years, zombie movies left and right, bang, 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 zombie, zombie, zombie. But now this is a totally different level of psychological conditioning and propaganda. This is like the CDC. Probably just a coincidence that this all happened in the same year. Isaiah 49:26. Isaiah, of course, being a prophet. And I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh, and they shall be drunken with their own blood as with sweet wine, and all flesh shall know that I, Yah, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Of course, we always see zombie movies. They're all about like eating flesh and drinking blood. Zechariah, of course, another prophet. Zechariah 14:12, and this shall be the plague wherewith Yah will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. If that doesn't sound like zombies, I don't know what does. Of course, here we go with Revelation 16. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yah upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had mark of the beast, and upon them which had worshipped his image. So they break out in grievous sores after they take the mark. That doesn't sound like zombies. I don't know what does. And I heard the angel of the waters say, thou art righteous, O Yah, which art and was and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. And of course, they are rolling out genetic modification, and they have been working on what will identify to see if this is you or not for a long time. Quantum dot tattoos hold genetic modification record. Invisible ink could reveal whether baby goats have been genetically modified. Of course, this is the quantum dot. Keeping track of genetic modifications is a major challenge in the developing world, but, you know, paper has a problem, so we really need to go to a digital system where we stamp something and physically engrave it into your wrist, coincidentally, just the very area that was prophesized thousands of years ago, and then we're able to track you and track the light in your body with nanoparticles that help to track the genetic modification and its progress. And of course, here we read through this. I'll just go straight to the summary. And yeah, the one-sentence summary, I'll link all this. You can read it for yourself, and I do encourage you to do so. Near-infrared fluorescent microparticles administered into the skin via dissolvable microneedle patches can record genetic modification delivery. It's invisible to the naked eye. The demonstrated that microneedle-delivered QD patterns remained bright and could be accurately identified using machine learning algorithm 9 months after application. Of course, I've actually showed on this channel before that it says it can predict your body activity with 100% accuracy after 9 months, which is how long it takes you to be born out of the womb. So, of course, they are going to rebirth you, and you will no longer be able to repent. You'll no longer hear the voice of the bridegroom, and the light will no longer shine within you. Of course, SM102 and the modifier RNA genetic modification that they're rolling out is, of course, utilizing the luciferase mRNA. Quantum dot uses the luciferase enzyme. This tracks the light in you. And again, Department of Defense in the early 2000s, underneath the guise of combating religious radical terrorism in the Middle East, have isolated a supposed genetic sequence, VMAT2 gene, quote unquote, the God gene, wherein which they looked at people with having spiritual experiences underneath a CT scan, and their brain lights up with extreme fluorescence. And so they think that they've isolated the genetic structure tied to that, and that they could effectively nullify it with genetic modification or inoculation. And that's just like open information that the Department of Defense did that. Okay, cool. And then I showed you guys how one of the world's most popular video games, Black Ops 3 Zombies, right here, has these characters with this mark on their hand. And of course, it is literally called in the game the Mark of the Beast, which clearly has 3 6s embedded in it. And there's a beast character with 3 eyes. This entire game's about zombies. So the characters are evil, and effectively this is their punishment in different layers of hell as the game will portray it. And they are all, you know, identify with the Mark of the Beast, as is literally called in the game, as they have to go shoot zombies. A little bit twisted there, but of course the people that take the Mark of the Beast would effectively be the zombies. But they put it in the infamous zombie movie or zombie video game, one of the most popular in the world, to condition people. Mark of the Beast, zombies, people don't realize what they're even looking at. And then we're going to watch this video one more time, and then I'll just come chat with you guys. So to summarize, or to end the recap, we will watch this creepy little 2018 Netflix cartoon series that tells you all about what is very applicable now. In a world where cartoons are where you are told what will actually happen.
Out of Rook Unlimited's most fantastic device ever, the Smart Mark. Throw your other devices away, because the Smart Mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. Use it as cash. Book your travel. And even shoot video. Distribution points are all over the city. And don't let the lines discourage you. The Rook Unlimited Smart Mark is worth the wait. I never realized how wonderful technology could make me feel. The Smart Mark has brought order to my life. And the best part? It's absolutely free. A gift of thanks to our city from Rook Unlimited.
23% of the population has been given the Smart Mark, number 1.
Time to test our system, number 6. The flesh fighters are out there somewhere. Teaming up with Jonathan Rook. Let's put our new recruits to work. Subtly.
We should find the flex fighters.
I ought to find the flex fighters.
We should find the flex fighters. Growing up
in this city, the streets of Old Town, I saw the worst mankind had to offer. Chaos, disorder. I vowed to make it all change. To make it all better. All these years working in secret. Rising up the ranks of the tech men. It was all leading to this day. Order has finally been established in Charter City. No child will have to fear for their safety again.
The people owe you the greatest of debts, number 1. Liberating them from the chaos of their lives.
You guys love new tech. You didn't want to get smart marked? No way. That's clearly some shady biz. Who wants to be?
You call yourself a man of science. World order is our destiny. Submit to a smart mark and join the glorious victory order over chaos, or you will be eliminated.
Grandma, Mr. Savage, where is everybody?
They'll all ever get those foolish new devices.
What? No, they can't. But those things are dangerous. It's a conspiracy. Mind control.
I knew it.
3 hours is enough time for us to get to our families. Maybe we can stop them before they get marked.
They seem to be establishing checkpoints of some kind. This is how they keep order.
This is the nightmare I warned you about. People think smart marks are brand new rook tech that will improve their lives. They don't know they're being tricked.
Oh, smart mark so far. But your chip makes it possible to control everyone in Charter City, whether they're marked or not.
In a world. All right, I see someone in the chat ask, where does it say about the light? So let me show you real fast. Share screen, window, bang, bang. Revelations chapter 18. Verse 22, and the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and of trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived. Sorceries, of course, coming from Pharmakia. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints, and of all that were slain upon the earth. So there you go. Revelations chapter 18. Cool stuff, bro. Not sure why my comments are freezing, but whatever. This cartoon's so creepy. Yeah, and there's numerous cartoons that predict this, numerous videos that predict this. This was all a plan, but these people, the humans, it appeared to just kind of like bumbling around, piecing together this overall plan. They don't really understand it. They're just kind of there. It's an honor to be associated with you, Austin. I love you like a son and could not be more proud of you and what you're doing. Donation sent via Cash App. Cheers. See you Sunday. Thank you very much, Bob. You are, of course, a legend, and I seriously do appreciate the kind words. It means a lot, bro. And I'll read the donations in just a second. I'll go ahead and do that, actually. Thanks, man. Yeah, no problem, bro. The scriptures tell you everything that's going to happen, man. I mean, and, you know, I really have to clap back on what I used to would have said was, well, the elite just wrote that book and they're using it as a script. But we had the 20 shortest days recorded last year, the same year all this happened. And so you would have to say they're actually controlling the sun as well. And nature's showing you that Yeshua's predictions were 100% accurate about the end times and that the days will be shortened. It's just happening right in front of us, man. It's just happening right in front of us. And if we're sincere about wanting to know the truth and get right with the Father, He's got your back, but we're going to need Him. We're going to need Him. All right, let me come read these donations. Mike for Keep Crushing. Thank you very much for the generous donation, brother. And I will do my best to keep crushing, bro. Thank you very much, man. You're always supporting, and it means a lot. Daryl for Keep Up the Great Work, brother. Much love. Thank you very much. Will do, and appreciate the donation. Connor for Yah bless you. Thank you very much. And I appreciate the donation. The support means a lot. You guys are the only way this is possible. Joseph for Flat Earth Activism support. Shake 'em up, wake 'em. Or shake 'em, wake 'em. Shake 'em and wake 'em. Thank you very much for the support, brother. Scott, thank you for the donation on Cash App. Much love. Logan, thank you for I'm in Cincinnati. Could show you Serpent Mountain. Sweet, bro. We'll try to swing through Cincinnati. The best way to keep up with the tour is to keep up with my streams. I hate to be that guy, but I can't make promises of dates right now. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, for example, I don't even know exactly how long Dave and I are going to kick it and what the schedule is going to work out like and stuff. And so I don't want to lie to you guys and tell you, but I will give you a heads up in the cities that we're going. And I'll always tell you on the I'll try my best to map it out. I can't make definitive dates, though. If the Father tells me, stop right here, if He gives me a sign, you need to be here longer. If He gives me a sign, you need to get out of here. If He gives me a sign, you need to go to this city, I'm going to 100% do that. That is the only reason that I'm out here. Phoenix Spirit, thank you very much for the super chat, bro. Much love. Michael, for much love, brother. Much love to you, bro. And thank you for the support. Adam, side by side in the battle. No doubt. Thank you very much. And I'm pretty sure you're the one that clipped that section out wherever I called the teacher out for pulling the children away. That was pretty cool. I threw that on my Snapchat. Much love. Thanks for the support, bro. I'm so very proud of you, Austin. I love you, man. Thank you, bro. I love you too. And shouts out to my man, Bob from Globebusters. Thank you for the support, brother. It means a lot. Let me come over here and check PayPal. I almost don't even want to read this one off, but I'll read it. Monica, send in some love from one of your wives, LOL. Thank you for the support. I have no wives, though, to clarify. I have no wives. Scriptures do not say just to have one, but I'll leave that up to the Father. I know people really spiral about that. There are some things that say that, you know, not everyone's equipped for that. And honestly, anyway, thank you. It was a pretty funny comment. Do not read. Well, I will not, but thank you very much for the generous donation. I did read that, though, but I won't read it out loud. But much love to you. Eric, thank you very much for the generous donation. Keep going. I would like to pick your brain and also teach you what I know. Cool, I got your email. I'll shoot you an email and we'll chat, bro. And thank you for the support. It means a lot. Eric, thank you very much for the very generous donation. It means a ton. You guys are incredible and what makes the tour possible. And also, like, I want to get, like, these little, you guys are the only way that we're able to keep up with the expenses. I'll just say that. Like, I need to get a little mic, like the Rode Wireless Go. They're like $300, you know, but I'll just be able to walk away and continue the content, and the stream will still be able to hear me and stuff like that. And so, since you guys are showing me love, don't read this comment out loud. Since you are showing me love, I'm just going to throw it right into the content and the tour, of course, you know, like, what am I going to keep it for? Dude, New York sucks, dude. We had to pay like $50 to go through one toll booth. What a clown world. Keep up the good fight, my brother. I first heard you on Globebusters, and you'd pop in speaking with a clarity and confidence that connected with me like no one else I'd heard before. Now, with all deceptions going on in the world, I see my friends and family giving up their power and rushing to surrender their souls to the beast. You have helped me to continue to stand strong in truth and reason. I've never been religious, have no intention to ever be. Feel you on that, bro. As you have helped me to understand the difference in religion and having direct connection with the Father, the Messiah, and following the true law. That's what I'm talking about. I've started studying the scriptures and I'm making a very concerted effort to learn and live by them. That's awesome, bro. I'm really proud of you. I look forward to meeting you when you make it to the West Coast. I'm connected with a great group of bears here in Southern Cal and have monthly meetups, and I'm sure that if you can make it to one of them, you will find a family that will welcome you with open arms. Thanks again for all you do. If you ever need anything, feel free to call or text me or email me. Will do, and thank you very much for the generous donation and the kind words, and that's awesome, bro. That's why I do this, straight up, is whenever I get stuff like that, that's how I know. That's just the confirmations that I get. So much love, bro. Stay strong. Don't let people confuse you. Don't go listen to men. It's not about having a religion with your Father. It's a relationship. You know, like, you're a son of his. He created you. He loves you. He gave you a beautiful spirit. You're individual. You're very special. You have tons of power. He gave you tons of power. He just wants you to utilize it the correct way, not try to go through some little grabbler, you know, back door to get it. And men have just tainted his name and tainted his relationship and tainted his scriptures, and it's sad, but there is a great awakening happening. A lot of people that have the eyes to see, they've woken up to the earth. They've seen through this deception the whole time, and I genuinely believe that a lot of them are going to get right with the Father, even though some of them may think that it will never happen. $50 for a toll booth? Yikes, dude, you're telling me, bro. I wanted to just get out and fight that dude. I'm a changed man, you know. It is funny, though. We definitely, like, we drop truth bombs on every toll booth and every waiter or waitress or anything like that. It's pretty hilarious. One wife's enough for me. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. I got no wives, bro. Thank you so much for your voice. Very few people are speaking out for y'all. Thank you, Ceiling Fan Man, for the support and super chat and the kind words. What's Austin's snap? Witsit Gets It. You know, Witsit Gets It. Yeah, I know it, Austin. That's why I keep praying for my husband. Keep doing it. Keep praying and, you know, send him to this channel. Maybe that'll help or something. $50 is cheap compared to the mark you'll need for that toll booth later on. Strangers and all is pretty funny, bro. Touche. I would say $50 is much cheaper than your soul. Crushing. Thanks, man. So happy to meet a bunch of people on the truth. Yeah, for sure. This is a very cool place to be. It's a whole vibe. Yeah. My boy Critical Inception here. Go show him some love too. So go sub to my boy Critical Inception. I chill with him in DC. Super cool guy. Go sub to my boy West Blaze Music. He's crushing. He's got some fire music too. And go sub to my boy Mr. Anderson. Go sub to my boy Fighter Day Saints. If you're somehow not subbed to Glowbusters, I don't even know what you're doing. Of course, go support us on Rockfin, or don't. You know, you could be lame. Cymatics, baby. As above, so below. Yeah. What if men had swords again? Very possible. Very possible. I want swords and bows. Wes, much love. But Wes is super dope. Also, Kingdom in Context. Go show him some support and some love. Upstate New York is really nice. We're going to check it out. They're going to get this work. Austin, how quick do you think this will all go down the fall? I really don't do that at all. I don't do timelines at all. No man will know the day nor the hour, but we'll know the season. And I think it means literally the day or the hour. And he told me we were in the end like 3 years ago. I don't know. I feel like he showed me 7 good years, seven bad years. Where we are in that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't make timeline. I just know it's getting crazy pretty quick. I know that we're going to think, wow, this has got to be it over and over the whole time because it's going to continue to progress. I think that we may have longer than some truthers would like to believe. I think that this is moving incredibly quickly in the grand scheme of things, but there's some time. I also don't like to really throw out that I think there's a good amount of time because people need to stop putting off getting right with the Father. You could die tomorrow. Way amazing, man. Surely my boy Dave's already a mod on here, huh? Yeah. Dave thinks he's funny, bro. 7 years of plenty. 2015, 7 years of famine. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that Trump's probably going to come back to save the day, and you guys shouldn't fall for it. All right, I hit you with the hour and a half. I love you guys. I will plug this up, and I'll chat with you for a little bit longer. Anyway, I don't know what your take on it is, but I think that the zombie thing, it's laid out in the scriptures. I think that there's like a scientific postulation to be made as to how it could happen. I think that they can see when people are like, they can control your thoughts, and these people don't have as much power as some of you guys want to give them credit for, man. They're bumbling around like morons. They're just something much deeper than what they realize that's actually pulling all the shots. And it's a metaphysical opposition to the Creator. Satan opposition. And no, you don't need some superhero bad guy to blame all the stuff that you do wrong on. You know, like you do wrong on your own, right? And again, I'm not saying that there is no like leader within the metaphysical opposition. I just know that there's an overuse of personification for some bad guy that makes you do bad things. No, you have a consciousness and you need to stand up and do what's right. I'm blessed and crushing more than ever. That's what I'm talking about, bro. They can influence emotion. The heart's the most deceitful above all things. Get right with the Father. The spiritual discernment is what's going to help you see the deception. Nothing else. Not the fact the earth's not a magic spinning cartoon ball in a vacuum. Of course it's not. That's lunacy. I still think that they absorb the flat earth, but whatever. Thank you, Austin. No problem. All right. I love you guys. Thanks and shouts out to everyone that supported. I really appreciate it. You guys are why the tour is possible. And yeah, we're gonna keep going. Right now, we're in New York City. We're gonna chill for Shabbat. I mean, I in no way have a conviction about going out and speaking the truth on Shabbat. You know, we'll pack our lunch and stuff like that. Maybe do a little something. But overall, I think that we always do get really tired leading up to Shabbat. Like, we're just always out there doing stuff. So we're going to rest like we should, and then we may go out and see things a little bit. We're going to meet up with a couple flat earthers, I think, tomorrow, at least my boy Eli. And so if you're in this area, hit us up. We'll be here till Monday morning. So, we'll need to chill probably Sunday or tomorrow. And then we're going to head to kick it with Dave in a world. So we're in New York City right now, Times Square, etc. We went to Philly. Disgusting. Just going to be wrong. It just sucked. But I just hate big cities, bro. They're so terrible. Anyway, Dave cut over to Niagara Falls. May make a couple stops here and there if you guys are somewhere in that area, because a lot of people are hitting me up. So I'm trying to coordinate with a bunch of different people. I don't want to like just drive by some legends. We can all kick it. When does the Sabbath start? The way that I interpret it is that it starts on sunrise. It starts at sunrise and ends on sunset. A lot of people say it starts when the sun goes down tonight. It's sunset to sunset. 24-hour days are nowhere in the scriptures. That's just a man-made concept based on when the sun comes back. And it says that Yah called the day Yom and the night Lila. And when they were in Exodus, it was very clearly stated that it was the day, the light, Yom, not a day of 24 hours. That's nowhere in the scriptures. So there's my take on that. Not everyone agrees with me, but whatever. I mean, he called the day Yom. There's no 24 hours anywhere. The literal day, yeah. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. In conclusion, yeah, I think that the zombie thing is very possibly real. I don't say I know for a fact anyway that this is the mark, but the truth is you couldn't even make up all the coincidences if you wanted to. And to believe in repetitive coincidences is an oxymoron. In addition, if you're a truther, that would be you not being too consistent. There are a few things that we do as truthers when we see that there's a very concerted effort by the most powerful people to manipulate things subversively and to change what they really mean and to lie about it and to hide it with all kinds of distractions. We know typically there's some truth there. Some people don't apply this same type of thought to or critical assessments to the scriptures. It's unfortunate, but you should be honest. No other quote-unquote religion has ever been attacked like this one. The main character's name was changed. His birthday was changed. All the translations are changed. Everything is lying to you about what it really says. All of these doctrines have been implemented so that you don't know what it really says and you'll think they're a pre-tribulation rapture and blah, blah, blah. And if it was a script that they wrote to actually control you, why would they have to lie about all of that? So I just encourage you to be intellectually honest about all of this, everything that's going on, and realize that repetitive coincidence is dumb, and that doesn't happen. That's stupid. You sound like a coincidence, there's. And yeah, I do in fact think I was given confirmation that we're in the end. That's the season of the end. I do not make date prophecies or anything like that. But the days will be shortened for the elect's sake, for no flesh would survive. Well, of course, we had the shortest days. Last year, of course, the stupid heliocentric pseudoscientific globe Earth model says that the Earth was slowing down gradually over billions of years. And now, actually, we made a startling discovery. It's actually speeding up and all this nonsense. Of course, the Earth doesn't spin. That's stupid. And the sky just moves. And, the sky is a clock, and eventually it runs out of time, right? And time's just not linear, and it's just a human construct anyway. Based on cell degradation, we quantify the passing based on this movement of the sky. But anyway, the sun is kind of verifying Yeshua's words. And so is everything else is verifying the scriptures. And so they're, they have SM102 and the modifier RNA genetic modification that they're rolling out. SM102 utilizes the luciferase mRNA, which of course tracks the light activity. And of course, we have quantum dot tattoo, which would be the digital identification that would be rolled out once the people demand it, because they need to know who it is that is genetically modified and is organic. They'll get the people to demand it themselves, and it'll start out with paper, like the Wild Wild West. People will be like, look, people are faking it. We need something that can't be faked. Quantum dot tattoo utilizes the luciferase enzyme that tracks the light activity in your body, and we are told in Revelation, as I just showed you guys, that the light will no longer shine within you. People have always applied that metaphorically to be in your spirit. And although it may have that application as well, I believe it is literally saying that they're going to try to make the light no longer shine within you, the literal light, your soul, your spirit, okay, your spirit. And so they're going to attack this. And quantum dot tattoos actually would, of course, fulfill the physical engraving part. It's literally a physical engraving, and it's invisible to the naked eye because it's on the light spectrum that the eyes do not perceive. I explained the eyes very simply, that we perceive things based on vibration. This includes light, which is nothing more than vibration, of course. It's an excitation of the medium that's already there. You can't see the entire spectrum of light because your eyes were designed to only see certain spectrum within this vibrational patterns everywhere. What are you doing, bro? And because there's a metaphysical realm and you were actually designed with a veil. So there you go. I love you guys. Watch out. Isaiah, Zechariah basically tell you that zombies could be a very, very real thing. CDC comes out and says something about zombie preparedness. One of the #1 themes for TV shows and movies over the last few decades ever, constantly getting you ready and telling you about it over and over and over. And of course, you see your loved ones that no longer look like your loved ones, and they turn on you, and you have to make a tough decision. Well, they could have taken the mark, and they're no longer human effectively, because of course, they genetically modify you, and you won't hear the voice of the bridegroom, meaning that you won't really have a consciousness of right or wrong, and you will no longer repent. It isn't that repentance isn't available; it's that you will now be incapable of it. That's the entire trick. So watch out for anything that they're giving to you. Of course, you should definitely not be genetically modified, nor should you accept some type of identifier. And even if you just say, well, I know this genetic modification isn't safe, but I'll take the identifier. So they'll, if I can, finesse the system, they'll let you do that because really that would be the mark still. So I think that is probably where we're headed. That is the mark. And then, of course, we're told the people that take the mark, they break out into grievous sores. Of course, we looked at Isaiah and Zechariah, and like they'll be walking on their feet, but their flesh will be falling apart. So just like a zombie, and they will eat their own flesh and blood. And we've always seen the zombies always come and try to attack and eat the humans. The part that, of course, will not be the same as if one of these things bit you, you wouldn't turn into them. You have to take the mark. So just stand up strong until the end, so you can speak truth unequivocally. I'm going to catch up with y'all on the flip side like a coin toss. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. So stand tall and speak the truth. The truth is these people that attack you, they're typically gammas. If they're males, they're always scared cowards and they're weak. And you see me walk boldly around in big cities. People get mad at me and scream, but they're just gammas and they walk away. The truth is that they just run their mouth and they talk real loud, but there's nothing to be afraid of. Certainly if you understand that the Father's got your back, no weapon shall prosper. He's calling people out into the world. This is the Great Awakening. This is him calling people to him at an expedited, exponential rate. He wants you to get right with him, and you're listening to me for no random reason. He loves you. He made you beautiful. Don't let men ruin it. Don't let men taint what the truth is. You don't have a religion with your Father. You have a relationship. Please get right because he loves you, and he gives me so many confirmations daily at this point. I want that for you because then you'll realize whenever I thought Austin was being a little arrogant, saying he knew, it'll finally click for you to make sense. It's impossible for me to deny it. He confirms it to me in my life all the time, constantly. So I really just encourage you to do that. And of course, whenever you are reviled for his name's sake, rejoice, for they persecuted all of the prophets before you. So I'm going to catch up with you guys later. I'll do a stream tomorrow. I may do a Shabbat stream with Jack, then some activism, then a computer stream after that. Maybe not a computer stream tomorrow night because I may be chilling with Eli kind of later. But I'll definitely do some activism streams tomorrow on the phone. I'm going to look into getting one of those Rode Go mics, Rode Go 2 mics or whatever, but they're like $300. So I'm not getting them right now, but it'll make the content better where the stream can hear my audio. I had a few complaints about that, and I'm working on everything. But anyway, we have a lot of good content coming, so stay tuned. And yeah, you won't be disappointed, And dude, if you're being called to go talk to someone or being called to go out, do what you're being called to do. Because he's got a lot of stuff he's putting together right now. And it's amazing, but we have to do our part. Right? Because they are waging war on us. And beware of the zombies because they're coming. Catch up with you later. Much love. Peace.
Geopolitically, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting steady high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock and twirl somewhere orbiting. The theory's disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force him a symptom that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature to mean extorted it. They forging it. If news anchors informant to informing them there's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this report and ships important. Yes, of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informing this, informing this. It looked like we were snoring tricked. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?